Elisha was a man of God. He lived during a time when the people of Israel were often led astray by false prophets and idols. Despite the challenges, Elisha remained steadfast in his faith and dedication to God. He followed God with all his heart. His unwavering commitment was evident in everything he did. Elisha's life was a testament to the power of faith and obedience. God gave Elisha power to do miracles. These were not just ordinary acts, but divine interventions that showcased God's might and mercy. From healing the sick to raising the dead, Elisha's miracles were profound and impactful. These miracles showed God's love and care for his people. Each miracle was a reminder that God was always present, watching over his children and ready to intervene in their lives. Elisha lived a long time ago. His story is set in a period rich with history and culture, a time when prophets played a crucial role in guiding the people. But his story is still important today. The lessons from Elisha's life transcend time, offering wisdom and inspiration to people of all ages and backgrounds. It reminds us that God is powerful. The same God who empowered Elisha is still at work in the world today, capable of performing wonders beyond our imagination. He can help us in amazing ways. Just as he did in ancient times, God continues to reach out to those in need, offering hope and assistance in miraculous ways. We just need to trust him. Trust is the foundation of our relationship with God. When we place our faith in him, we open ourselves to his divine intervention and blessings. One of Elisha's most famous miracles involved a widow. The story highlights the profound impact of faith and the incredible ways God can provide for his people. She was in desperate need. Her situation seemed hopeless, and she had nowhere else to turn. In her moment of despair, she sought help from Elisha, trusting in God's power to save her. Let's see how God used Elisha to help her. This story is a powerful reminder of God's provision and the miracles that can happen when we place our trust in him. The widow was very poor. Her husband had died. Now she had debts she couldn't pay. The creditor was coming to take her sons as slaves. The widow was desperate. She cried out to Elisha for help. She had nothing left but a small jar of oil. Elisha told her to have faith. He said, "Go, borrow vessels from everywhere, from all your neighbors, empty vessels. Do not gather just a few." Elisha's miracles weren't just about money. He also had the power to heal. One day he met a wealthy woman called the Shunammite woman. She showed him great kindness. The Shunammite woman had no children. Elisha prayed for her, and God gave her a son. But tragedy struck when the boy grew older. He became sick and died. The Shunammite woman was heartbroken. She rushed to find Elisha. Elisha's miracles were also about providing for people's basic needs. During a time of famine, people were starving. There was no food to be found anywhere. One day a man brought Elisha a small amount of bread. It wasn't nearly enough to feed everyone. But Elisha took the bread and blessed it. He told the people to share it. Elisha also used his God-given power to heal the sick. His acts of healing were not just limited to physical ailments, but extended to the very elements of nature. Elisha's faith and divine connection allowed him to perform miracles that left an indelible mark on the people of his time. He was a protector, a guide, and a beacon of hope for many. His presence brought comfort and assurance to those who were troubled. Elisha's life was a testament to the power of faith and the miracles that can happen when one is truly connected to the divine. In one instance, he encountered a group of young prophets who were about to eat a stew. These young men, eager to learn and grow, often gathered to share meals and discuss their spiritual journeys. The communal meals were a time of bonding and learning. Unaware that a poisonous gourd had accidentally been added to the pot, the young prophets were on the brink of disaster. The gourd, though seemingly harmless, contained toxins that could cause severe illness or even death. They cried out in alarm upon tasting the deadly concoction. Panic spread quickly as they realized the danger they were in. The once joyful gathering turned into a scene of chaos and fear. Elisha, with his calm demeanor, took flour and tossed it into the stew. His actions were guided by his unwavering faith in God's power. The flour, a simple and common ingredient, became a tool for a miraculous intervention. Miraculously, the poison was neutralized and the stew was made safe to eat. The young prophets, who moments before were in despair, now rejoiced and praised God for the miracle they had witnessed. This event strengthened their faith and deepened their respect for Elisha. In another display of God's power through Elisha, he healed the contaminated waters of Jericho. The city of Jericho, known for its rich history, was facing a dire situation with its water supply. The waters, once a source of life and sustenance, had become tainted. The contamination was causing widespread illness and suffering among the townspeople. The situation seemed hopeless and the people were desperate for a solution. The townspeople complained that their water was causing miscarriages and illnesses. The health crisis was affecting every aspect of their lives, from their ability to work to their hopes for the future. The community was in a state of despair. Elisha, led by God, took a bowl of salt and threw it into the spring. Salt, a symbol of purification and preservation, was used in a divine act to cleanse the water. Elisha's faith and obedience to God's instructions were unwavering, proclaiming, "Thus says the Lord, I have healed this water. From it there shall be no more death or miscarriage." His words, filled with divine authority, brought hope and relief to the people of Jericho. And just as he said, the water was purified. The transformation was immediate and miraculous. The once contaminated water now flowed pure and clean, bringing life and health back to the community. The people of Jericho celebrated the miracle. They gathered around the spring, drinking the purified water and giving thanks to God. The healing of the water was a testament to God's power and Elisha's role as his faithful servant. This story of healing waters and poisoned stew demonstrates God's ability to heal even the seemingly most hopeless situations. Through Elisha, God's power was made manifest, bringing hope, healing, and faith to the people. These miracles serve as a reminder of the divine presence that watches over and cares for humanity, even in the darkest of times. Elisha's story reminds us that even though great leaders may pass on, their legacy and spirit can live on through those who follow them. This is a timeless truth that resonates across cultures and eras. The story of Elisha and Elijah is a powerful testament to the enduring nature of mentorship and the passing of wisdom from one generation to the next. It shows us that the impact of a great leader does not end with their departure, but continues to influence and inspire through their successors. When his mentor, the prophet Elijah, was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, Elisha received a double portion of Elijah's spirit. This dramatic event was not just a physical departure, but a profound spiritual transition. Elijah's ascent to heaven in a whirlwind was a divine act that signified the end of one era and the beginning of another. For Elisha, witnessing this miraculous event was both awe-inspiring and humbling. It marked the moment when he would step into his mentor's shoes and carry forward the mission with renewed vigor and divine empowerment. This transfer of power was symbolized by Elijah's cloak falling upon Elisha. The cloak, or mantle, was more than just a piece of clothing. It was a symbol of authority, responsibility, and divine blessing. When Elisha caught the cloak, it was a tangible sign that he had been chosen to continue Elijah's work. This act of catching the cloak was a public declaration of his new role and the divine endorsement of his prophetic ministry. It was a moment of transformation, where Elisha moved from being a follower to a leader, from a student to a teacher. This event marked the beginning of Elisha's own ministry as a prophet, where he performed even more miracles than his predecessor, demonstrating that God's power is passed on and multiplied through generations of faithful servants. Elisha's ministry was characterized by numerous miraculous acts, from healing the sick to multiplying resources and even raising the dead. Each miracle was a testament to the divine power that had been entrusted to him. The people of the ancient Middle East witnessed these wonders and were filled with awe and reverence. Elisha's actions not only validated his role as a prophet, but also reinforced the belief that divine power and blessings are not confined to a single individual, but are meant to be shared and expanded through faithful service. His life and works continue to inspire and remind us of the enduring legacy of spiritual mentorship and the boundless potential of divine empowerment. Elisha's miracles weren't just for special people, they were for everyone who needed help. Whether they were rich or poor, young or old, God cared about them. Elisha's story shows us that God is still in the miracle business today. He still answers prayers, He still provides for our needs, He still heals the sick and comforts the hurting. We may not see miracles like parting the Red Sea or raising the dead, but God still works in amazing ways. We need to have faith like Elisha and the people he helped. When we face problems, remember Elisha's story. Remember that God is bigger than our problems. He can do more than we can imagine. God is still working miracles today. He heals broken hearts. He provides for families in need. He gives strength to the weak. Let's ask God for faith to believe in his miracles. Let's be open to seeing his power at work in our lives. And let's share his love with everyone we meet.